Hey, hello world, welcome back to my channel. Today I would like to talk to you guys about my other course that I'm taking at Harvard, US Government. So far, I have been able to complete 2 courses out of 4 that I paid for. One being Citizen Politics, where we learned about American public opinion, elections, interest groups in the media. Public opinions basically means like what people say matters, and what power is in the government and how people can use that. Elections, how people win elections. Invisible primaries, which if you haven't already know, I created one and won it. Really excited for my team. Interest groups such as lobbyists, hate groups, LGBT community, those things. And then the media, how the media plays in the government, how big business owns news companies, and how that all ties into the American household. Also completed US policy, which touched bases on social economics and foreign policy, and how the president has to work side by side of Congress in order to get those things done. The course that I am in right now is talking about bureaucracy and Congress, presidency, and courts, and how that's being used and stuff like that. I don't really want to get like too deep and too political right now, but I just wanted to come on here and let you guys know what I'm up to. I have a lot of friends that are concerned about my health, and a lot of family that's concerned about my health, and I just wanted to let you guys know that I'm doing okay. That I'm taking these courses and educating myself. Today, the White House went live, and we talked about Black women being paid equally, and how they were being compared to white men. And I don't think that they should be compared to white men. I think that they are in the league of their own. I do believe that everyone should be paid equally. However, in my opinion, if you graduate from Harvard, you should be paid 3 times more than someone who graduated from community college. I'm just putting that out there for anyone that wants to talk about being paid equally. Because, if you have better qualifications, then you should be paid more than someone who just flat out didn't get an education. Like, this whole $15 minimum wage is great, because when we fight for minimum wage, not only are we pushing the standards higher for people who don't have an education so that they can be able to afford to get an education, we're also adding money to people who got an education. Everything works. Everything is tied together. And if one group gets minimum wage benefits increased, then the other group gets to see an increase as well. And that's just how it plays out. That's just how it works. And I'm grateful for that. So, I had a nice conversation with the White House today about equal pay. I would have loved to seen someone who wasn't as I would have liked to seen someone different than who I saw today at the conversation that we had at the White House. White House staffer graduated from Harvard, which pops to her. Never met her before until today, because we don't all know each other. But she was talking to this woman who owned who owns her own business. And the comments were hilarious. Everyone was screaming, Trump 2024. But I want to get into that. That's the basis of this conversation. I've learned a lot these past couple of months about the election, the classes I passed, and Trump, 2016. He had the news on his side. That's how he won. That's how he beat all his competitors, is he worked hand in hand with the news and got it done. Won against Hillary, even though she got the popular vote, which we'll get into. But throughout his throughout his presidency, he made some few mistakes. He said some few things that just didn't resonate with people. Some of it resonated with me. Being both white and black, I get to go to the store and pick both apples and oranges, and a sort of analogy for those who kind of, don't really know what I'm saying. But I found out how Joe Biden won the election, and he won against Bernie Sanders. Donald Trump would have calmed down and stood his ground instead of throwing a tantrum. He would have won the popular vote, like Andrew Jackson did, and he would have made history. What Congress did to him is wrong. I don't think he should have been impeached, not once, but twice. Congress themselves are a fractured group in America, and I'm hoping when I become president that we can bring Congress together and make them be able to work for the American people rather than them being self-interest in themselves. Because they get paid a lot of money just to sit around and travel back and forth to home and to the White House. And that just sometimes pisses me off. The day during the meeting, this businesswoman was asking a bunch of questions to the White House staffer. And every question she would ask her, because, she's from Harvard, she graduated from Harvard, she knew how to deflect back onto the president. Like, oh yeah, Joe Biden and the American Rescue Plan. Now it's going to lift children out of poverty and all that blah, 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 because every president has their own thing. Build back better. And, what are we building back? Anyways, I loved how she deflected back onto the president, because for some reason people at the White House, U.S. representatives, House representatives, Congress, always putting the blame on the president when they should take responsibilities for their own actions. I do think that the president has a lot on his hand. He has to be alert to every situation that goes on, foreign and domestic. And when he tries to get work done domestically, that's when he runs into problems with Congress. That's why Donald Trump ran into problems trying to build the wall, because Congress has their footings in domestic policy, more so than they do foreign. So every time something foreign happens, it's always the president who has to step up and be the leader. And I feel like that's how it's always really been. And I do think that there's some situations where Congress needs to step up. Like, if there's something foreign to happen, it's up to Congress to be able to start war, not the president. But it's always been the president who has to kind of take that responsibility and enact it. And I feel like we need to come together and work together rather than pushing the blame and pushing responsibilities onto other people. So she was asking, during this live conversation, she was asking about these questions where she could have looked at her group and her responsibilities and been able to answer those, but instead she deflected. But I'm not calling anyone out, you know, we all got jobs to do. It's just, you know, we'd really like it if America could come together and stop this racist thing about people not being paid equally and all this other stuff. I don't see it. I haven't really been bullied that way. So, yeah, I just wanted to come on here and tell you guys that I graduated some of my courses. So going strong, you know, a lot of stamina on there to pursue your goals. That is for sure. But I hope you like this conversation, guys. And it won't always be like this, me sitting down in front of the camera. I do hope one day that I'll be able to travel and share more experiences, parties, and stuff like that. So just, you know, just building up my rapport and creating my community and getting the word out there about my business and all these fun different things that we're talking about. Yeah, so if you like this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Make sure you guys comment down below on what you guys would like to talk about. If you're interested in the government, if you're interested in politics, let me know. We can talk about it. If you're interested in computer science, justice, business, yeah, just let me know. Comment down below and subscribe. My name is Brandon Washington, and thanks for watching.